So say we're drawing some situation in a city and we really wanted to try to make a building kind of nice. What I would recommend is that you call up some reference material. So here's a basic box in 2-point perspective. But let's say that we wanted to make this box really feel like a well-drawn building. So what are the details that we run into on buildings? And it's important for us to start to collect them. One of the details we run into on buildings is they have this piece on the top of them, like a detail. Little piece of molding. Another thing that we run into on buildings is doors and windows. So my lines always tend that way. And so I kind of have to go back and try to pull them into more correct. That one's pretty good. And if this was a tenement building, you might have 4 windows across. And what would be nice would be able to get them in line across across that space evenly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little space like that. And I think I want to take it on the bottom of this. Now I want to do it right there. And I want to make an X through the middle of it, a really gentle X, so you can almost barely not see it. And that, where those 2 lines meet, I always do that. Look at the angle that I just did that at. It's so unconscious on my part. Where those 2 meet is the middle of that space in perspective. And then where these 2 meet is the middle of that space in perspective. And where these 2 meet is the middle of that space in perspective. So that gives me 4 evenly spaced units. And what I could do is I could take those and I could just thicken them out. And because I'm looking at the building in the direction that I'm looking at it in, I'll see inside. I'll see the inside edge of the left edge, and I'll see underneath the top edge. And the windows could have a little piece like that. And underneath the window, I want to say right at on this line, there's going to be a shadow underneath the windowsill right there. And then you can just go down further. You can say, okay, now if I wanted to take this space, I can just take this space and replicate it right there. Just the same height. And now this, whatever that passes to, whatever point, see, these would be passing through to a vanishing point on the horizon line. And if I pass this one, if I pick the distance here, and then I pass this one through to it, like that. And you can always take a ruler and line it up if you want. And then I want to take that space there and duplicate it and pass that through this vanishing point also, but just really gently. And now I can just bring these lines down. So I kind of solved it up there. But you want to be careful not to drift. So I'm kind of drifting. These lines would also connect to that same vanishing point. And so on. I could take that space, duplicate it downward again, connect to this vanishing point again. And I just keep on going. And we know the middle of the building is right here. You can find the vanishing point on the other side. You can take this line and project it over as a horizon line, and take your ruler and find where that and that meet, which is about there. And I might just average them. And then you can do things on this side of the building. I always love in Manhattan, like downtown, when you walk around like Soho, there's these huge buildings and they have these like billboards. Something about the scale just, I think, is really evocative. And draw a little graffiti. Front door. And on and on and on.